Hey guys, welcome back. Tisha here, back for another Real Housewives of Potomac reunion review. Go ahead and do me a favor and hit the like button as we jump into this stuff. This episode, in my opinion, was a good one. I really found myself enjoying it, and we got some things to discuss, right? So we begin the episode. Mia has just stormed off the stage. She went ahead and talked to Jazzy and Stacy. She apologized to them. They didn't accept it. So now, because everyone else is on stage but Mia, Andy is informed by production that Mia doesn't want to come out. So he goes back in the back to check on her. He tells her that she's obviously a good person, but she's spiraling, she's beating herself up, and that she needs to give herself some grace about the Miami thing. I do not think that Mia was really sitting there crying about the Miami thing. I don't recall seeing anyone touch up her makeup while she was sitting in that room. Maybe I missed it, but if you were so distraught, how is it that your makeup, as flawed as it is it messed up from all of the so-called crying? It's because, in my opinion, Mia's faking it. So Mia claims that she is in the final weeks of her divorce and she just has, so much going on. And I think that that is a bunch of trash. I think that she's lying. This lady will not stop with her lies. As this is going on, you got the other ladies sitting there on the stage and they're having discussions on whether or not they believe what it is that Mia is saying. They're like, okay, if this was, us, you wouldn't do that. Ashley's talking to Giselle, saying what she would have done had she had did that to her. And Giselle's like, I would have never did that to you. So everybody is back on stage. They're talking now about Giselle. She lets it be known that when all of her girls left her home, at first she was very sad, but she quickly was able to bounce back. And now she's enjoying herself. She's enjoying not having the girls at home. She informs Andy that the twins are doing great in college, so great that the both of them are maintaining a 4.0 GPA. Great job, ladies. They ask about Jamal. I do not understand why they keep on bringing up Jamal. They dated for a split second, supposedly, however many seasons ago. He is no longer a part of her storyline, in my opinion, especially because he's married. Let it go. So Andy then asks another viewer question. She responds that, her girls did go to the wedding. They did not like the way that their father and his wife dressed. The ladies laugh. Giselle says she doesn't know why they dressed like that. It seemed like it was a joke at first, but it turns out that they were not playing. All she knows is that her color, the color scheme of the wedding was something that her kids didn't like. I don't know what the pictures look like. I didn't go looking for them, but it's of no consequence. Like, do we really care about this? We didn't get to see it, so why are we talking about it? She also says that the girls don't have a relationship with his wife. I personally want to know more about that. You guys are over here talking about color schemes. Let's talk about why this lady doesn't have a relationship with the girls. I understand that they are older and it may not be as much of a priority to their father, but I would think that that is something that they should consider. I also don't know if the problem is that he has a lot of children and that they don't live in another state, but I feel like more effort should be made. Maybe the girls don't want to get to know her. I don't know. She says that she's still seeing the guy that she met at speed dating, Noms. Where's his name? Names. I got names written up here, but I think it's Noms. Anyways, the both of them, Ashley's person, Josh, and her person, have actually formulated a friendship and they hang out. After moving around so quickly with Josh, Ashley now says that they have slowed down and that they don't have labels. That is so backwards to me. I think that Ashley handled this all wrong. Part of me wonders if she really fell for him or if some of it was storyline and then she ended up falling for him. Because one minute it was Josh this, Josh that, he's spending the night, all these other things. You did it in a matter of weeks, to now we're saying that we need to slow things down. Maybe she realized that it was getting too serious for her. I don't know. But now she's slowing it down. She reveals that Josh was offended by some of the things that's been said, especially Wendy's comments, like being called Jack Harlow and saying that, dating him is a lateral move from dating Michael. I'm sorry. But Ashley, you just told us that you all have slowed things down, that you kind of, paused on things. Why are we talking about Josh's feelings if y'all aren't even an item? I just feel like it doesn't really matter, but we're going to go with it. So Wendy says, he'll be okay. Ashley is talking about how, look at her, even listening to her now, she doesn't have any remorse. She has no remorse about the things that she's saying. And Wendy's like, no, I basically don't, because you have said actual things about my husband. Ashley is looking at her like she's crazy, like she doesn't know what she's talking about, and she denies it. And Wendy explains that a few seasons ago that you brought a rumor to the show about Eddie supposedly cheating, right? Ashley tries to put it on Giselle. We get a flashback of it that shows it wasn't Giselle, which means whether or not they were having the conversation off camera, that Ashley brought this to the show. Ashley is the one who always causes issues. She always stirs the pot, and then she leaves or she acts like she didn't have anything to do with it. Giselle says, I never brought that rumor up. It wasn't me. Wendy says, I know, it was Ashley. I want to know when Wendy realized that it was all Ashley. I'm not saying that Giselle and Robert didn't have a part in it, because they did. They very much so were talking off camera about the things that they were going to bring to the table. But the point is, Ashley's the one who did it. So as they're going back and forth, Ashley tells Wendy to take it up with the blogger. She's not the one who started the rumor, but you're missing the point, Ashley. Right? She needs to take it up with you, because you seem to be really opinionated when it comes to other people. But when actual factual things have been said in the past about your now ex-husband, you had a problem with it. So don't feel like Wendy shouldn't have a problem with it as well. And as far as we know, as of right now, those rumors that you repeated were false. Whereas a lot of the allegations that have been made against Michael are true. At least that's what's alleged. She then talks about how, she's not even sure if Eddie's practicing law. There was no point in saying that. To me, that was a dig. Wendy says he is, but let's be clear. I personally wouldn't be surprised if Eddie is doing both, because as hard as it is to believe, he probably makes more money off the sale of cannabis than he does in practicing law, because that's how lucrative that situation is. The pandemic, man, people were making out during the pandemic in terms of that stuff going on. So I don't feel like Ashley should be speaking on that lady's husband and what it is that he does or doesn't do. You wouldn't like it if it was being done to you, so don't do it to her. We get to Kierna. Kierna, after we see her little package, is still with Greg, who's in the back complaining about how instead of sitting there all this time doing nothing, he could have been enjoying the city. He doesn't like being filmed. He doesn't like that she got into the fight. She still doesn't like how he didn't support her. After filming, she says they separated for a period. She moved out. She moved to a condo, and now she's looking into buying that condo. Despite all of this, though, they supposedly are back together and they looked at rings. I personally don't feel like the math is mathing, sis. Why are you looking at rings when you were recently separated? It's giving that you all have a lot more to work out on. If you had to vacate his home, just to now try and decide that after you get the ring, you're going to move back into his home. Does that fix the underlying problems? I don't think so. So, of course, Andy makes some, allowances to Greg and how he appears on camera and says that, it is an adjustment, it is new. He can understand, why he, was a little hesitant about certain things. And Karen is like, yeah, it takes some getting used to. He's not the first, guy who didn't want to film. And that's true, girl. But we see what happened to some of the people whose husbands didn't want to film. And Robin had a seniority, I guess we'll say. She was an OG and she got kicked off this show. So if you truly want this, don't think that you won't get kicked off too. Now, Andy talked about how on Watch What Happens Live that Greg did come and he said that he did it to show up for you. So maybe he's going to get better about filming. I'm not sure. So we get to Stacey. Per Andy, TJ is Stacey's former significant other. The other ladies didn't even notice. Wendy says former. Stacey confirms they are no longer together. Kierna's like me. When were they ever together? And it's a valid question. Stacey talks about how, he's a great person. He's a great person and he's my best friend. But, we were under a lot of pressure. And, when I watched the show, I didn't like the way that he spoke with me, nor did my family. And it bothered me. She said that, I was hurt by people saying that TJ seemed to be more interested in, the trainer than in me. People like Wendy. And Wendy touches her and Wendy admits, I was one of those people who said it. Stacey's like, I feel like, that was very messy of you, Wendy, because, Wendy, you're my friend, Wendy. You're my friend. We're friends, Wendy. And I just thought that, we would be better than that. And, Wendy says, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I received what you're saying. Now, she ain't apologized all the way for alluding to that, but she's apologizing, in my opinion, for hurting Stacey's feelings. So, Stacey and her husband are divorced. Crazy how she was divorced before Ashley and Mia, and I believe it was Wendy brought attention to that. Stacey claims that her and TJ we're still best friends, meaning that nothing has changed according to Wendy because y'all are doing the same things that you were doing. But based on what's said at the end, I don't think he's really your best friend, Stacey. I think you might want to reevaluate that. So she's asked by Andy, can I ask you something real personal? And he wants to know if they ever had sex. And she goes around about a way. They've done some things. They've had some intimate moments, but they never had intercourse, right? So we go from that to talking about all the different things that we've seen the ladies wear over the past season. And Ashley feels the need to let us know that the dress that Stacey wore in the finale was actually made for her a few months prior. She wore it at an event. Andy wants to know if this was shady of Vivian, if Vivian did that on purpose. And Stacey says, yes, I think that it was on purpose. Wendy points out, like, look, they're not even friends anymore. And Stacey said, F that B. Stacey said, I did not say that. I think that she did. Because Wendy even talks about how you said it, which is, you said it and then you drank your drink like you didn't say anything. Which makes me feel like when she met up with her friend from Chicago, AJ, and he was talking about, Chicago Stacey and how Chicago Stacey was, he clocked that the person that she was presenting herself to be on this show is not all of Stacey. Like, that's not all of the layers of her. He kind of called her out on it. So I wonder what Stacey's like when she's not on, right? Stacey feels like she helped give Vivian exposure by using her fashions on the show. But Vivian has been on the show prior to this in other seasons, so I don't understand that. Giselle is Gisella's laughing. She's like, so you're elevating Vivian. So Stacey points out that, she gave her exposure by inviting her, to be the exclusive designer for the fashion show. And, I was just mortified that, Vivian gave me a dress that my colleague wore. So, Vivian is dead to me and it's over. So Giselle is like, oh, over a dress. it's over a dress. And she confirms, yeah. That is a crazy reason to cut someone off. Was the dress not free? Am I missing something here? What else isn't being said because it's not adding up? Well, guess what, you guys? Vivian went to the internet and she basically called Stacey a liar, saying that Stacey knew that Ashley wore the dress. I got this off of Reddit. Somebody copied it and put it up here as a picture. This is from Vivian. I don't want to say her name wrong. I think it's Anawe. Vivian _ANYABYVIVIEN. She put, thanks Giselle Bryant for asking who elevated who. The delusion of it all. Stacey is quickly unraveling. I said, ooh. Her fraudulent self before our eyes. Stacey begged me to exclusively sponsor her event, to elevate it. Her words. By the way, I introduced Stacey to the Real Housewives of Potomac group. This is how she thanks me? ? Shaking my head, all caps. Lying. Stacey begged me for that outfit. I originally custom made that outfit for Ashley for a casual collaborative event. I offered Stacey another gown she has appropriate to her event, and she insisted on Ashley's outfit. I even showed her a picture of Ashley in the outfit. My staff was present at the time of the conversation. Hey, Stacey, you return all the gowns smelling funky. I wasn't expecting that. Vivian, they smelled funky because they were, piled high in dog poo. I mean, were you not there? Did you not see the poo of it all? Everyone will soon see your true colors. Fake, #phony, #fraud, #the lies. P.S. At Bravo Andy, I love how you call me Viv. And that is how her comment ended. I believe her. I believe that she showed that lady that gown, and I think that Stacey's trying to have a moment. I think that it's kind of messed up that you're ending your friendship over a dress, so there has to be more to it. So Stacey's talking about her hair, because we get on the hair and the blonde color and all that other stuff, and she says she thought that they would like her hair, and everybody's like, no. They then get on the subject of Ashley's bunions, and she's like, I've had them since I'm 10. To me, it doesn't seem like Ashley wants to have surgery on them, because Ashley has managed to get a boob job, which I'm not knocking her if she wants, to get some tetas. I just feel like, where are your priorities? So as you were walking on the stage, you were talking about how your bunions were hurting. I would think that you would want to fix that so you could be more comfortable in a shoe. But, what do I know? Maybe it grows back after time and she doesn't feel like it's worth it. I'm not sure. If put it down below. So we find out that Andy reached out to Wendy, joking her for one of her outfits that had sleeves that reminded her of a Michelin Man, except it was a blue outfit. They chuckle about it. They asked Mia why she went from wearing blazers, viewer did, that she used to have when she was with Gordon, to Fashion Nova specials with ink. Everybody's laughing. Mia explains that she switched it up because she was in a corporate position when she was with Gordon, and she sold that business. And because she sold that business, she switched up her fashions. And Fashion Nova is paying her, big bucks to do so. get your money while you can, sis. Because after this, I don't know how much more exposure that she's gonna get. Part of me feels like they're gonna give her another season. I'm not sure what that season would look like. I think that we would see a lot of Mia trying to redeem herself, trying to take the things that we've complained about and alter it, try to rewrite history. I don't know. But there's a lot of work to be done there. But there's other people that we thought, like Ashley, should have been kicked off the show a long time ago that are still there. So I'm interested in seeing what they do. So we find out that not only did Giselle buy the dress that Stacy didn't want anyone to wear, but after the event, when they had to do their confessionals, that she brought the dress to give the dress to Wendy because Wendy originally wanted. Wendy's like, that's how petty Giselle is. And they laugh about it. I gotta admit, y'all, it's gonna sting for me to say it, but I gotta admit, I like Giselle. I like Giselle. Not all the way. If I think about all the stuff she does, I don't like her. But I like Giselle in this reunion. And I like how her and Wendy are being cordial and they kind of piggybacking off of one another. It's doing something for me. And I hate to admit it, but I got to be honest, y'all. I do. I got to be honest. So Stacy is then trying to act like Giselle didn't donate anything, and she wants to know what if she donated anything to her event. And Giselle's like, "Yeah, I wrote the check while I was sitting right there. I wrote." They talk about the blonde hair. For the most part, everybody feels like Karen wears it best. That she owns it, and Mia says, "Yeah," especially when it's all the way on. I said, "Okay, way to dig at Karen." But, how much can we say? Because, Karen, you did what you did, so they're going to come for you. I want to show y'all this picture of Jacqueline because she looked beautiful to me. I think that pregnancy looks nice. I don't know if it's the design. I don't know if it's the hair. I don't know if I think that she looked beautiful. Yeah, everybody's titties are about to bust out, but it makes me nervous. Like, y'all really, y'all really don't care. Okay. Anyways, so Jacqueline comes on the stage. She's doing May. The father is someone that we've not met. And it's not, her kid's father. We get on the subject of Mia as we watch all of the things that she did this season. Y'all, this package. We are being reminded of the questioning of the paternity and the way she spoke about Giselle's daughters and the way that she handled Gordon and the way that she lied on Gordon and her crying and all these other things. And as she's crying, I'm like, girl, don't cry now, because I know for me, I don't buy it. Ink and Mia have parted ways. He is not there to attend the reunion. Mia claims that she didn't notice it in the moment, but in watching back things, she's seeing that she handled things all wrong. And Andy points out that, Mia, you said ink is forever in your tagline. And she's like, ink is going to be forever because he is my best friend and he will always be a part of my life. I need y'all to stop calling everybody your best friend. Because first, Stacy did it. Now here you are doing it, Mia. Everybody's not your best friend. Andy wants to know what the ladies think about Ink. Wendy says, he's kind. She doesn't think that Ink was prepared for the way that the fans are, for the comments that they make. He's a nice man. I don't agree with all of that. I don't think he was nice with the things that he said about Gordon. And Ashley points that out. She was like, he did kind of go a little hard on Gordon. Giselle says, look, Ink wanted this. And I don't think Ink and Mia are really broken up. Mia is getting a lot of heat on the socials, so she's trying to fix things. Mia doesn't even live here. She's not in DC, MD, or Virginia. She's in Atlanta. So, Giselle says she's not in the area. Mia says that's not true, that she has a condo and she's just been flying back and forth. Giselle's not buying it. Giselle then wants to know, where the kids live. And Mia says, look, they homeschool, so they're back and forth with me. Does Gordon go back and forth too? Some of this doesn't seem right, but we know Mia moves every season, so I don't know. Wendy said what she said earlier stands, but as of October, her opinions have changed. She feels like at this point that Mia saw that this wasn't good for her brand and she adjusted the way that she was doing things. For example, all the posting and the things of that nature that she was doing prior on social media. Mia, she says, Gordon and Ink are all in this together, which means she agrees with Giselle. It's given storyline, and she doesn't feel like Mia is getting divorced. Andy wants to know what Mia would gain from lying. And Andy, we all know what she'll gain. More time on this show and attention because it's something that she craves. Mia claims she's not doing this for the show. I don't know if Mia was legitimately this defeated or if she just wasn't prepared because she's not accustomed to getting stung left and right like this. But it seems like, for the most part, every lady on that stage had heat for her, and she was getting it. Another viewer wants to know if this is the first time that she ever told her kids about the divorce, if the first time was when we saw it, which was when they were on camera. Mia says she realizes now that she shouldn't have discussed it on camera. Mia, just say that the answer is yes. The answer is yes. And the moment that she said it, I am reminded that Mia and Gordon were wrong for this. The both of them exploited their kids for a television show, for a check. I got all the heat in the world from Mia, but I got it for Gordon too, because it should have never been brought up. Andy asks who brought up the paternity. And Mia says Ink. She claims that, Jeremiah doesn't know about it. He's only 9. And like Giselle and Ashley said, at some point he will, because somebody's going to tell him. Another question is asked is, it said that Mia always wants Karen to be transparent, but she's not transparent. She claims she is. I don't think she is. Kierna says it's not making sense. Wendy even says, like, Mia, it's kind of not adding up because you told us that Jeremiah was conceived from IVF. And she's like, yes, he was. So she says, so why would you need a paternity test if he was conceived from IVF? They test you before implantation, which they do. Ashley even confirms from the other side of the stage that it's a blood test. Mia claims that she could have been pregnant, at first. And they're like, no, it doesn't work like that. And then she says, well, then she could have been pregnant after. Either way, Mia, this is not making you look good. That you sat there, you want us to believe that you spent all the money to have a child with Gordon by going through fertility treatments and things of that nature, having implantation just to risk possibly messing it up to do something with Ink. I find that really, really hard to believe. It just doesn't make sense. She sounds foolish. Mia says they did a test after the fact, and Gordon is the father, but Ink really thought it was his, if you say so. She then lies and says that she protects the kids from adult conversations. No, you don't. She says that for a year, Gordon and her were okay. He was okay with filming. And Giselle's like, no, he wasn't. That's a lie because we saw him say that he didn't want to film with him. Mia claims that she wanted to show a positive co-parenting dynamic, and she thought that it would help doing it this way because Gordon was able to do it, with the son's father. Let me be clear. That too doesn't make any sense. Gordon was able to do it with your older son's father, who was out of the picture, I think, by the time he started dealing with you. This current man that you're expecting him to co-parent healthy with isn't even anything but a boyfriend. Also is the same guy that ultimately he feels broke up his marriage and destroyed his family. So why would you think that he would want to, be cool with you? He's going to hate him for life. They asked Jacqueline what the story is. Y'all, Jacqueline is going to make sure that she stands by her friend. Jacqueline confirms that there are times where she has seen Ink and Gordon get along, but there are also times where they don't. She said the problem is that Mia had those two men mixing amongst each other. They were around each other too much. And we saw her say that on the trip, that she needed to do things without Ink being present when it came to her family home. So Mia says, Gordon, Gordon wanted to come to the show today and clear this up. He wanted to apologize for making me look like a liar, but I didn't want him to do that. I didn't want him to go on an apology tour. So why are you mentioning it? Because it seems like another lie. Everybody knows that she's lying again. Giselle and Wendy say Mia only regrets her actions because of what happened out there as far as the viewers. They don't feel like it's about the kids. They feel like it is about her. Jacqueline feels like Mia normally is honest with her, that she does have moments where she may embellish, but she's not, just lying just to lie. I disagree. The next subject of Giselle's daughters come up because of a viewer question. Wanting to know what was the point of bringing it up. And Mia says, yeah, I know it wasn't okay. I shouldn't have, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have, said that. But I did, and I apologized about it. And Giselle brings up a point that we don't know anything about. Giselle talks about how at an event, I don't remember what event it was, but some event that Mia jumped in her face. I think it was Ashley's event. We didn't get to see it. So why aren't y'all showing us these things? Giselle says, there's been moments in the season, Mia, where you have not been a good mother. You are a bad mother. So Mia walks off and says, that's it. I'm not going to do this when it comes to my kids. And she leaves. I don't think they were talking about her kids. I think that they were talking about her. And it's not anything that the rest of us haven't said at various points that she was not protecting her kids. I personally think she was not protecting her kids. And for that, there's a problem. And you got to see that there's a problem. Wendy's like, look, I don't get people like this. Wendy, I appreciate it. Wendy was cursing, of course, but she was like, I don't get people like this. I don't understand how you talk a whole bunch of crap, and then when people call you out for it and put it back on you, that you can't take it. I think that the ladies are done with Mia, and I'm not mad at it. But are y'all going to chase behind her again to have her back on the stage? So Eddie and Greg are in the back. They decide that they're going to FaceTime TJ because they're wondering where in the world is TJ, because TJ is not here. So Eddie calls them. TJ's like, oh yeah, man, I'm all right, man. Thanks for calling to check on me. I'm out here and I'm evacuating, because of the fires. I'm out here and I'm evacuating from the fires. And they're like, oh, you sure you're okay? He's like, yeah, I'm good. And they're like, well, we thought, you'd be at the reunion. We're here at the reunion. And he says, I'm not coming to that fake A show with them fake A people. I said, oh, whoa. Not the best friend. Not the best friend talking like that. So we don't get to see what's said. But TJ apparently has said something about Stacy to Eddie, and it is revealed to Wendy because Wendy's all dramatic with her, oh, shut the F up. Or I can't remember what she said, but it had F in it. And she's like, I got a text from Eddie, and we won't get to see what happens until next week. Overall, this was a good episode. You guys, let me know what you think about it. Hopefully this didn't buffer. Hopefully it acted right. I still got to finish my notes for Married to Medicine. It should be up within the next couple hours. Until next time, say it with me now. Peace.